I hit record a drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, finish friends on my face. Looking like I'm from the D. D's no Cartiers. Pockets deep, 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 bro. I can make it in my seat, bro. Do you, I'm doing me, bro. Making noise, use a beat, bro. Whoa, I press the button and the doors go off like, whoa. That money clip us now, the new now looks like, whoa. Upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like, whoa, 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 whoa. Neighborhood on the scene, neighborhood on the strip. Neighborhood be the name, neighborhood no crib. Neighborhood that's me, neighborhood that's Nick. Neighborhood do the dance, neighborhood do the deal. Okay, thought I'd never make it like no way. I'm the real deal, no role play. My days off, that's no days. No, I hustle hard, yeah, I'm rose. E be the shooter, that's cold case. Those on the deals, that's brose. Got no pay, yo, no say. Okay, this the news, tell them read it.
What up? It's Wednesday, which means it's board TV, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got special council elections. Well, at least the first round. Yeah, guess what? We get another freaking week of this, so awesome!
Yippee.
Can't wait to hear those million spaces. And we got an update on heavy metals. We're going to talk a little bit about Legends of the Mara, and we have a special guest that we're going to introduce in just a moment. But Bryce and Will, how are you, gentlemen? How's your week been?
GM, doing pretty good. The week's been off to a banger of a start for the crypto coins front, but holy smokes, if we keep this up, our JPEGs are doomed.
For real, they're already bleeding like crazy today. But yeah, overall, good week. Been super slow for me because Will and I are heading out to Vegas tomorrow for the Azuki event. So it's just been very slow and in anticipation for that. So we're looking forward to that tomorrow, but excited to be here tonight and talk all things Yuga.
All things Yuga, all the time, all the gas. Yeah. I'll be honest. I don't even care about the floor anymore. Maybe I'm just numb. I don't know. Maybe I've lost all emotional attachment to everything in the world, in life in general. But I'm actually more interested in the little teaser that we got, obviously, from heavy metal. I was also, like Bryce, Will, and our guest we're going to bring on in a second, praying we'd get a Legends of the Mara update, just because to me at this point, I mean, if I'm being honest, the floor doesn't matter because I'm not selling. That number one, I'm not looking to sell anything right now, specifically Yuga assets. But number two, I'm ready for just some fun. And I think that's what we're about to get into with some of the gaming, the Yuga gaming, if you will. But before we get into that, gentlemen, an update directly from the polls. This is, I don't know, we got to come up with something that's like Fox News or CNN or a combo of the two. If you have not, yeah, exactly. If you haven't been paying attention, the election for special counsel, which there are 2 open spaces, the top 5 move on. I'm going to call it official if it's not already. It should be. We've got Captain Trippy, Thread Guy, Karma Pocket, Swicky, and Wabam, and that is the order in which they came in at the end. Pretty close at the top, and I'll be honest, something to point out, this will be real interesting because between first and fifth, yes, there's 1 million, but look at Metaverse Lawyer. He's got 500K. So we could get really interesting really fast. I think this next week will be very spicy. You're going to see a bunch more spaces. We saw a lot of that with Thread Guy specifically, but also all the other candidates as well. And I think what we'll see is, man, there might be some dirt throwing. There might be some name calling. But at the end of it, if we just had to predict, it doesn't have to be who you voted for even, who do you predict will come out on top as we sit here today? Do you think it's the top 2 on that list right there?
I think so. If it's down, no. My vote's with the captain.
Votes with the captain.
Right there with Will.
And I know there's a bunch of people whose votes are going to be with Thread Guy. So that pretty much rounds it out.
That's fair. I will be honest. I think I threw some votes at all 5 of them because, and actually Wabam, I threw maybe my most, or maybe just because I've seen what he's been working in the DAO for a long time, and actually like putting in time before he was even running for this position. And I think that should matter, actually, personally. I think it's a little I don't know. Like this discussion it's one of those you can't win, because I don't want to gatekeep either. But it's kind of weird when like people aren't ever in a position to like help in the DAO, and then when there's a massive potential salary, then all of a sudden the DAO is
Oh
the
my
best
God, I'd
thing
love to do it.
Yeah, like I struggle with that, and I'll be honest, the majority of candidates for both, that's what it was, kind of. So I struggle with that, and that's a me problem. It's not a them problem. It's a me problem, because we don't want to gatekeep either. Because at the same token, you want more people in, right? So a new person that shows up, even showed up a couple of weeks before the election process began, they should have been able to potentially, if they wanted to, and they thought that they're up for the challenge, run for a position. And that, I mean, that's a me problem, but it's just an interesting dilemma. But what I'll say is 100% the conversation, the amount of energy that's been around the election has been positive, I think, long-term for the DAO. Not that I agree with everything, because some of it's absolute lunacy. If I'm being honest, I've heard the conversation. Some of it's insane, but the good thing is, in an attention economy, which NFTs and crypto are, man, I feel like the DAO got a lot of attention over the last week. Would you agree?
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
I saw my whole thread or my whole timeline was full of all you need is one Apecoin to participate.
And it's true, because that was, I think, one thing that the DAO, no matter who's in positions, will have to do better of, is making sure that it's very clear on you don't actually need to have a Bored Ape to be in the DAO. You don't have to have a Mutant Ape. You can have you don't even have to have an NFT. You just have to have one singular Apecoin. So it is interesting. It is crazy to think that a lot of people didn't know that, but at the end of the day, transparency is key, and information and content is key. I mean, that's why we do Bored TV, and that's why we want to push more content, because we want people to have the information.
Dude, imagine if Elon rolls up, buys one Apecoin, and freaking runs like
dude,
instant Elon W, right? Like
guaranteed, he'd get all. He'd have all the Apecoin would vote for him.
I wonder how many potential things like that he could totally just walk in and be like, "Oh, here, by the way, we're going to give you a chair position just because you participated."
No, for real. Will, I think, do you have your screen? You want to go back to the governance steward nominees as well, because we'll go ahead and take a look at that. The 5
Bryce's screen today.
It is my screen.
Oh, Bryce, you got it. Dope. I was gonna say I
was gonna
say
say I'm not loaded up on anything.
That top one, that top one. So the top 5 here move on as well. This is for 2 positions too. This is governance steward, which is a little different, obviously, than the special counsel, but still a very important position. And All City, honestly, has led from the absolute jump, and I mean, almost 2 million ahead of second place, which is Sword, Tiger, Sasha, and SSP. Those will be the 5 that move on. And so it'll be interesting. Once again, don't want to assume anything, but I mean, I guess I would think that All City's probably going to be one of them. And it'll be interesting to see who number 2 is, because those other ones are pretty close. So out of this entire list, they've all actually been the top 5 have actually all been very involved in the DAO. So no surprise that they got a lot of votes. They've contributed a bunch. They've asked questions, all of that.
Yeah, I was going to say this list looks way more representative of like active participants.
Yep. 100%.
Which is unfortunate, because they should be able to be on the other list too, but they just don't have the visibility, I guess, across the swamp. So,
yep.
Yeah, and I think that is an interesting discussion, and I don't think you can ever fix it. I don't like. Yeah, we can talk about popularity contests. It kind of sucks. Like I don't love it either, but that's just the reality of what elections are. Like massive elections. Think about any election. It all comes down to a popularity contest at the end of the day. So, you hope that you have great people running. And I do think there's a ton of awesome candidates, actually. And I think they're all going to do just a fine job. Whoever gets it, I'll have full confidence that they'll do the job well, because they've put this much effort in already, and they're going to have another week of grilling. Like that's 100% going to be happening. You're going to see the heat turned up actually more. I can promise you that's going to happen. Because some of those people that want to jump, maybe somebody that's in front of them, you're going to start having debates. Like I think there's a debate, maybe even tomorrow, actually, which is pretty exciting. Like I like the thought of having like your typical presidential debate, but have it for special counsel. I think that could be good entertainment. I'll be honest with you. So
we should have all of the candidates go on and be on Joe Rogan's show.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's great.
Dude,
Let's
I'm full
spread
of
that
great
AIP.
ideas today. I'm full of great ideas. So I
Can
think
we
we
do
need
an
to.
instant AIP for that, please? Can we just push
Yeah.
it directly through?
Right.
Straight to Joe Rogan. But yeah, anywho, figured we'd update everybody on that because that happened. That closed at the top of the hour. But if we're being honest, what we came here to do for the most part is speculate, talk about all things Yuga all the time. That's what we like to do here. We've been doing it for actually, guys, I was thinking about it. We've almost been doing this for a year, I think. Almost.
Coming
which is
up on
pretty
it.
freaking crazy, if we're being honest.
Yeah, because Ape Fest was a year ago.
Correct. So that's I thought about that a lot this week, was that we've done a lot of fucking shows. And it's been a lot of fun. Like, no doubt about it. It's been a lot of fun. And to be honest, we're just getting started. I know that sounds cliche, but it really is the truth. And without further ado, man, we met this dude a little while ago, and he's just been like a great addition to the Board TV fam, and more specifically and larger picture, the Board Media Group, what we've got rolling. He, man, loves all things Yuga. He is a massive supporter. He rocks a kennel club on Twitter, and I can almost promise you've never seen his face until right now. Let's welcome on to the stream, Mr. X, Daniel X. What's good, Daniel?
Yo.
My doggo that's under loan because I couldn't afford one.
Yes. We have it out on loan.
My Yuga assets, all of them that I own.
Yes, sir. And so again, if you're just joining Board TV for the first time, Daniel has been a massive asset to us, and just literally writing a million comments and helping us depict things, speculate on things throughout the show. And so it's a pleasure to have you on, good sir. You've become a friend of ours, and it's just great to kind of pick your brain, because you're a thread writer, a thread maxi, if you will. You might be thread guy number 2, or maybe you're senior or junior. I don't know. And it's just great to have kind of your thoughts on gaming, because you are very intertwined in Axie. And obviously Yuga is hopefully, actually they are, not hopefully, they're getting ready to really kind of blow the doors off of what gaming can be here in Web3. So Daniel, take it away.
So all of that, great, thanks. But I have a real important question for the Brothers Grimm over there. Did you vote for Captain only because it matches the same name as your favorite NFT? Be honest.
No. I definitely like Captain Trippy. Aside from my meme land exposure.
Pump the bags.
Will.
Oh man, dude. Honestly, I voted Captain because I see him all over the place on Twitter. Dude's like the most active trippy ape we have, and he should be protected.
Protect him at all costs.
I would agree there.
I think Into the Metaverse, that podcast show that Yuga has, I think he was a special guest, if memory serves me. He's got, I don't know, like Jimmy Buffett vibes, like, if you know what that means. I
do know who Jimmy Buffett is. I think what you're thinking of is actually, are you thinking about Jeff Nicholas by chance?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they use
No,
the name.
I think you're thinking of Jimmy.eth.
Or
Yes.
Jimmy, yeah, that's what you're thinking of.
Yep. Okay.
Jimmy is
Also very
yes.
prominent collector in the Yuga ecosystem. But yeah.
Yeah, you remember when he dumped apes for taxes, and he was just like, "I just need to cover my taxes,"
and didn't pay any of the royalties.
Like, oh my gosh, Jimmy's liquidating!
But didn't pay any of the royalties like a day after he was ragging on people for not paying royalties. That was the irony of it all, actually. What? But you know what? Whatever. Daniel, as we take a look at, and I'm gonna pull up. I think I have it. Yep, I do. The Heavy Metal Forge little teaser. What was your initial reaction to the video that they presented to us yesterday?
Well, forget the reaction for a moment, because we got 2 very important pieces of news in the last hour. And the first being that this is going to be available for mobile. And the second is that it was designed around warm wallet delegation. Those 2 pieces of information are absolutely huge, because that means that somebody even made the comment that basically you can be playing for 24 hours a day, and while you're sleeping, somebody else could be playing for you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think it's going to be something where we have to worry too much about that, but for getting on the leaderboard. I have a good feeling that you're going to have time, like where time runs out and you can renew it with Ape or with resources or whatever, and then maybe every 6 hours or every hour or every 2 hours. Like, they're going to make it sooner than later because they want people to come back and engage all the time. So the longer that you leave it, the more you're losing out. So the more you're online. And there'll be people that are on for 22 hours of the day without delegating their wallet. I saw it with Axie when Homeland first came out. And there was people playing literally all day and night, taking hour naps in between, having to get back up and cycling through your farm and all that stuff again. So it was a bit crazy. I have a feeling it's going to be like that because, I mean, that Axie game was for nothing but a title, right? And so now we're going to be competing against everybody 30,000 deep rather than like 500 deep that Axie had for deeds. So 30,000 people or 20,000 people total, or even 15,000 just playing to try and get these top awards, which would be actual traits that you can, build or evolve onto your mecha or heavy. I think that's going to be some serious competition, and the people that really don't want to put that effort in and have money, I think they'll hire a whole gaming team to just keep doing it around the clock, like we saw with Dookie Dash. But in this particular case, it's just a matter of using the energy as you get it, where you don't need to have like skilled players, more just like people that are there, like warm bodies to press buttons. And that's going to make this a lot more interesting because a lot more people are going to be able to afford said warm body pushing buttons rather than like expert gamers.
It's true. I think about Bryce and Will with the Mutant versus Ape game that they put out, where it was like setting alarms so that you could go play more with the energy that you had. And so this will be better.
Lost
for sure.
so much sleep.
I lost so much sleep that week, and then I was so mad they cut it short because I was going to be on the leaderboard, but it is what it is.
Like you said, that was a week. This is going to be
yeah, this is going to be much longer.
I feel like they set us up with the primer. They said, here you go. Here's the lo-fi heavy metal YouTube video. Take a chill pill, pull up a seat, get comfortable. You're going to build the forge. You're going to, take your time with it, potentially, right? I'm curious to see, right? Because we didn't get any indication necessarily that there was going to be that mad dash to like continually be building it out for these leaderboard positions. But I guess,
well, so here's the
thing. I don't know, because they said more of like have like the vote on your favorites. So that's kind of where it kind of threw me off a little bit.
Well, it's another popularity contest, right? So somebody like what we see in the Apecoin DAO, that's going to play out just as we see it here, right? Because you have some of these holders that have 100,000 followers, and they're gonna go market themselves and push themselves, and it's inevitable.
Which is great for Yuga, by the way.
Absolutely.
Right, like for the game in general, fantastic.
You're gonna see, basically, right? You don't need to be there all the time, just like you said. It's gonna be a vote. Excuse me. But if you want it to look nicer and you want to put the rare traits on your land, it's going to take time, and you're going to want to do it more, and you want to build roads, and you're going to run out of energy, and you're going to run out of resources, and you're going to have to keep coming back to keep doing it because you don't want to be caught at the end of it whenever that snapshot is that people start voting on it half-assed. And it looks like, though, the good part of it, it looks like they're daily leaderboards. So throughout the season, maybe they have like a massive reward at the end for everything. But moving forward, like maybe if you have the top votes for the day, you get something awesome as well. And that gives a lot of opportunity to a lot of other people rather than it just being one person all the time that gets it.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how I guess the mechanics of the game end up working. If it's something similar to like a Clash of Clans style where you go in and you buy this upgrade with coins that you earned, and then you have to wait a set amount of time for that upgrade to finish, but you can speed it up with these power pack boosts that you can buy with Ape, or is it something totally different from that?
Yep.
Hold on. Let me
so
share
here's
my
my
screen
theory.
real quick.
my theory here. But before I get into the theory, I'll say that Yuga really did you guys dirty, because you're going to go to Vegas here tomorrow, and you're gonna maxi it out and do things that stay in Vegas, right? And you're gonna get back, and you're gonna immediately go into like 24-hour farms build mode, and you're not gonna get any sleep. No rest for the weary. But what I think is gonna happen. So everybody has their battery power, right? And at the very beginning for sewer passes, they said that each NFT was going to be unique to the designation of your rank. And then everybody kind of fudded that, because it was like, oh yeah, okay, there's 7 or 8, whatever types of heavies, and and then they kept saying that the rarer ones, the rarer traits, would come to the people that had the lowest score, or the lowest ranking, and the highest energy of that particular type class. So I think what we'll see is that the people, let's say number 1, is going to have a lot more energy to spend doing their building in one go than, say, number 29,950. So that being said, the higher or lower ranked you are, the more you can do in one go, the more you can rest at the end of it. Then you're going to go out, and I feel that, they said you're going to get blueprints. I think the blueprints are to build rare things, whether that's traits or more than likely assets that you're seeing, because you see the picture there, and it's got all kinds of weird things in there. So we're going to be building all this stuff, and then we're going to lay it out and design it. And that design is going to go on social media, and people are going to vote however they vote, or maybe actually, hopefully, it's within the game. But that also takes away from the marketing aspect of it. But I think it will be in game, and then people will take snapshots and share it on social media to get people to come into the game to vote. So you're going to get these rare blueprints. You're going to have your energy levels based on your rank. You're going to be building nonstop and crafting and creatively curating your space to try and win these rewards. And they're going to have to keep it interesting, right? Because after about a month of doing this, people are going to be burnt out and not care anymore if it's just get resources and build. Looks like there's going to be some surprise guests that come into the game that we have to battle. They may also drop like rare assets or blueprints, and like if you kill the big beast at the end, maybe you get a cool trait that goes on something, or a medal that gets hung on your chest, or all kinds of weird things that they could possibly do, which would be awesome. And if they allow you to sell items, well, that's going to be what really brings people in. Like, forget about the game itself. People will be there making money, and that's what's going to be the overall driver, I think, of play to earn in Web3 is, you can have a great game and people are going to play it because they want to, but the aspect of making money in it is going to really be the driver that drives everything home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree there.
Will, take it away. I know you have this pulled up for some reason. I'd like to actually watch the video here in a second, but what you got?
Okay, so I'm just looking at this, right? And this just looks like it's some kind of maze, some kind of trap, some kind of like, enter this at your own risk.
We're shooting baseballs. We got spikes. We got laser cameras. We got saw blades.
We've got like a little turnstile here. We've got,
I think at some point you're going to have the ability to go to other people's zones and destroy it, because you've seen all the oil everywhere, and you've seen these weird, like, not just this, but there's another one that has like guns all over the place that are like aiming inwards, and it's so weird. It's protecting you from something, and whether it's the in-game bosses that we don't know what they are yet, or other people, just like the clans game, a year into it, they started allowing people to battle each other. So I don't think it will be first, but I think we'll be able to do that in the future.
Bryce, go. I on your face, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, I just pictured it. I'm like, it's like Bloons Tower Defense, right? Like you have your little arrows, and you have to make your way through the path and reach to the end. Like that's probably what this is going to be, right? Like we're going in similar to Clash of Clans. You attack other people's bases. You go in and you're trying to reach to the center of the toilet bowl. And I don't know what that results in, but I'm sure it's something. Maybe you get voting power, or you get votes handed to you. Like there's a way you can actually earn votes rather than just have somebody else vote for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good point.
This screenshot actually proves the point. So you're going to be able to do it in game. It's not going to be a social media vote. Right there, you get vote up and down. I think you have to use your energy too, so you can't like waste your you can't vote for everybody. It's one of these like you have so much energy to spend either building or voting. I think it was 10 electric or something per vote. I heard somewhere.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah, 10.
Yeah, and I would imagine maybe hollows and reavers have extra things that they can build that make it harder for, I guess, their base to get raided successfully if we are raiding bases.
There's a lot of interesting takeaways for sure. And Bryce, your thought of balloons / Clash of Clans, all of that together, like, I mean, yeah, that's exactly what it feels like, sort of, right? At least that's what we'll get to. Like Daniel's saying, it's not gonna be instantaneous where we just go and like start battling our asses off. It's
there's gonna be that
right
week or two of build period before it's probably live.
Yeah. Well,
or it's similar like in Clash of Clans, you have to get to a certain level before you're able to go and raid. I'm sure that's going to be the same thing. Like there's going to be certain levels, and you have to have at least 5 traps activated.
Right. For sure. Will hit that funky beat, my dog.
Dude, I don't have audio hooked up, but
I heard it, dude. I swear I heard it. You don't have it on right now, but yeah.
It might just be through your AirPods, but
let's roll it.
Build, flex, fight, ball.
Wait a second.
Yeah, so what was that? Yeah, go back to that.
What is going on here?
What is that?
He's just standing here.
So he's getting 2 charge for moving on to the next tile, or maybe he's using 2 charge to move on to the next tile.
I would assume use, right?
Yeah. So in order to move a space, it looks like he has to give up.
It's costly to build. 38 energy, bro. We're gonna be. Oh,
Apecoin.
You see that portal there? That's gonna lead to you going out to be able to do things outside of your base. So you're gonna see everybody hard charging. I think at the very beginning of the game, maybe the first week or 2, building out just to get there, right? And then once you're there, you can then go out and do all these awesome things.
But what if a better strategy is to rather, what if you can't get raided until you build to the portal, right? So rather than, the mad dash straight to the portal, you spend that first week building out your base, making it nice and secure and safe and sexy looking, and then you build to the portal.
Your brain is really big right now, dude. Very big.
I don't know. Like there could be some strategy there.
The brain though, just for a second, because you need to leave to get your blueprints so that you can.
That's true.
Now you're just trapped building blocks.
You just got a bunch of building blocks, and you'll be sitting there on your thumbs until you decide you want to go out. Essentially.
Maybe I'm antisocial. Okay.
I love how there's so many different screens of this game, and yet we have no clue how to play.
That's right. Pipes there. What are those pipes doing?
I don't know, dude.
What's the fences? What's the?
What was that, dude?
Does somebody want to build this? Dude, is this a thing?
Those look like bleacher seats.
No, they're conveyor belts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, you're gonna build a warehouse, bro.
What is this pipe thing? I've got so many questions. Look at this.
HV.
There's like, you come and step on this, like obviously.
Maybe that's like an energy storager thing, right? Like you can store your energy in these pipes, and you can build them bigger to store more energy. Kind of like in Clash of Clans, you can build up your gold storage to hold more gold.
Wait, in SimCity where you click out to do like the water pipes, and it takes you to a different view, and you just see the pipes underneath and all the limestone. That's kind of what that reminded me of. It's just plain white with the pipes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, believe it or not, though, the teaser image literally showed us what we were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the saw blade.
Dude, literally.
It probably costs 5 energy.
Yeah.
And there's the
unlock these squares. There you go.
Hey. Is that 4,700?
As simple as that.
Number in the back.
And it starts the 29th. So they also mentioned there's more information coming naturally because it can't just. Well, I guess it could, but I don't think they're just gonna be like, "Hey, good luck, figure it out, motherfuckers." So do we think?
I think actually that's what they said, though, Phil.
I think we're just gonna figure it out on our own.
I think they said as season 1 progresses, there'll be more videos, just like Dookie Dash. You'll figure it out as you go. I think that was like a thing they said.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll release some more basic content on just mechanics and maneuverability. But yeah, in terms of strategy and stuff, figure it out. Good luck.
Also,
Hey,
go
will
ahead.
you make a video on how to play? It will probably get thousands of views. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I probably
Board
need
Media
to-
Group will be on it.
I need to see where this was.
We'll be writing threads and making videos, baby.
Dude, all the threads, just all of them. I swear it was Garga that said it. Now I'm just gonna be.
Yeah, I saw the tweet from Garga too, saying that more information will be coming out before then.
Also, just to point out, and this is not surprising if you watch the video, is here you go. Bunch more content coming between now and then, which is the 29th. So we got more coming to prep you for the experience. This is from Garga yesterday. But like Dookie Dash, it will, and like you said, Daniel, he also mentions like Dookie Dash, it will just make more sense when you play it a bit. This is very different from Dookie Dash, though, where that was twitchy game, heavy on reflexes. Forge is much more casual, creative, and social, at least at first. That's an interesting addition. Once we all have sick forges, it gets a little different. That's when we probably have to raid each other and shit. I don't know. It's going to get wacky for sure. But it starts with Will mentioned Warp Sound and the heavy metal track that we got a couple weeks ago. And that's just a vibe. And so we can listen to that, build our fortress, and then get absolutely crushed when it opens up by all the whales that just murder us. That's what's probably going to happen, at least with mine. Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Were you guys great Clash of Clans players?
I mean, I still dabble in Clash of Clans here and there.
Maybe I need to download it and start practicing.
It's fun. I mean, I've always just kind of been into those kind of like strategy-ish games because I think they're fun to figure out. Like, how can I beat other idiots? So I think this will be no different.
So then I would say you're probably uber bullish then on after you saw I mean, we kind of knew this was coming, but after seeing the trailer, were you more bullish on the game?
I wouldn't say more. Well, I don't know. I'm excited for it. Right.
Okay.
I'm just excited to see what it looks like and how it operates and stuff.
That's fair. No,
I didn't think it just looked like overly fantastic. It wasn't like, holy cow, like this is insane. But it was like, okay, like this looks good. And I'm curious to see how it ends up.
I mean, they've clearly been building.
Yeah.
Clearly.
And I'm ready to get in there and start building my forge. That's for sure.
100%. Legends of the Mara.
If you think about it, right, it's called the Forge. And what do you do at a Forge? You build things like weapons and machinery and other stuff. So, this is step one, the Forge. So when they say it's going to change a bit, perhaps we're going to start building really cool stuff.
That's true.
That'd be epic.
Also, I should know this because our mascot for the school I work at, I think we're the only ones maybe in the world, we're the blacksmiths.
Oh, really?
They fucking forge everything, dude. So like I should be
you
ready to
be on the top
rock.
of this leaderboard.
I need to dress up like a blacksmith when this goes live and go do a video on it as we
show it to all your students, all the schools. Yo, guys.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I do in the summer.
Video games.
Yeah, for sure. So we did not get a Legends of the Mara update. Are we expecting one? Do we think next week then? Because it's kind of been every other.
It's every 2 weeks with the new thing. The astral chart that they've got going on there. So it was every week-ish before, and then every 2 weeks with that celestial chart. And we did get the GG stuff today. So I'm guessing that next Tuesday we'll get the next update, which would be 4 and 5? Because I think we had 2 and 3 last week. So we'll be on 4 and 5, and then all we have left is 6, and then probably whatever's left over, and then I would assume the game starts. So in theory, I guess we have about a month. If that's all holds true, that's pretty exciting.
Right, and that lines up with their always on Q3. So.
Well, I mean, that was other side, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm sure Legends of the Mara is. I mean, it takes place of others. I mean, they're kind of one and the same.
I
was thinking that was the 3D environment.
I think we're going to have another. We'll definitely have at least 1 or 2 more trips before it's open. I think the next one will probably be like the final test, like where they're testing things out. And then the one after that would be the lands rumbling to life and the resources, blah, 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 blah. And that would probably be towards the end of Q3, which is, I don't know what, like September, October.
Yeah.
We're in that area, which would make sense because I still think that they're going to do Ape Fest in the first week of December for Art Basel, and I think they're going to allow people to come
Dude,
watch
I hope
it,
not.
like stream it through. Why? You don't
I
want to
don't
come
want
to
it.
Florida?
I don't want it during Art Basel. Like, let's do our own thing. Let's not go to Florida. Let's do something else.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard though for people to just travel to different places for like a one thing event. And
Yeah,
you guys are
for
doing
sure.
it for Azuki, but if you were, let's say you were in London,
Yeah,
it might
right.
be
I'm
really
not flying
cool.
to Vegas just for this. But, there are people that are doing that.
Yeah, I mean, there are
The
people
guy we
fucking-
met at Ape Fest last year is from France, and it was his first time in the U.S. and he came to New York for Ape Fest and for NFT NYC, and we're going to meet up with him again in Vegas. So that'll be fun. People definitely make the trek, but like the Azuki thing is like only like a 3-day period, so it's kind of like
Yeah,
That's wild.
that's a big
community
trek for
events on either
4-hour
side of
event.
it and whatever. So I don't know. Okay, I've heard some people thrown out there while Yuga's been fudded to death the last couple of days that people are saying, oh, Ape Fest this year is going to be scaled back. The previous years they were spending like they had like tech startup money. Now they're gonna, they're gonna have to draw it in a little bit, not go so crazy. What do we think about that? Do we think
I think people are
Ape Fest is gonna
fucking
be
stupid, if I'm being
at
honest
the same
with
level,
Thank you,
same
Phil.
amount of time, same amount of performances? Like what
Yes.
what are we expecting?
I recall at the end of last Ape Fest a tweet from a particular
Gordon?
founder that said, "Fuck it, next year we go big."
Indeed.
I don't think they're going backwards. I think people with that take are asinine, personally.
Yeah, I mean, it would be stupid to go backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be like fudding themselves. Like, hey, we started out super big, but like, I don't think we're actually that big. Of a
Actually, we're
company.
gonna have Phil be the headliner this year.
right.
Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? No.
We're gonna have
Yeah,
just
I
Phil, Spotty
would be
Wi-Fi.
excited.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna. If you heard it here first, folks. I think it's going to be during Art Basel because every other one was during NFT NYC, and it makes sense because more traffic and more people are coming. If you just had that one thing by itself, you get less people. If you have it alongside other things, and everything I've heard, I haven't been to Art Basel yet for the last 2 years because I've been like traveling or doing something different. But I've heard some of the best exhibitions from these NFT projects have happened at Art Basel with doodles and other stuff. So my thought would be, my thought would be, and I know everybody fudded me to death for saying it because, Miami is going to have the IRL clubhouse. People are like, whoa, no, Garga said it's going to take years. Okay, whatever. But I think what's going to happen is we're going to have a massive Ape Fest, like the biggest one. Let's go big, right? And you're going to have members only that are there in the stadium. You're going to have everyone else with the Yuga asset, vessels, whatever, watching it live from the other side. And that's going to be like the test that shows live events. That's going to blow it out of the water, and everyone's going to be super excited, just like Fortnite did with Ariana Grande and other big things. I think the show is going to be huge. I think there's going to be like a main stage. I think it's going to take over Art Basel, and it's going to be the hottest ticket in town. And I think that they're going to do the groundbreaking ceremony or a news announcement of the clubhouse because it just makes sense while they're in Miami to do that. And I mean, just picture yourselves having like champagne walking around the groundbreaking of wherever that new clubhouse is going to be, whether it's on its own island or whatever. Like they took everybody out on the yacht 2 years ago, right? Just imagine that you're someplace where the new clubhouse will be. It doesn't even have to be built. It could just be the ribbon that they're going to cut and celebrate. Like that in itself would be a really awesome experience that they could potentially do. I just feel that it's going to be in Miami at that time, especially if they say it's around the November time frame. Art Basel is usually like December 2nd and 3rd and 4th, like that whole week. So it just makes sense. I can't imagine they would do something in, say, like Vegas or somewhere, and then a week later, everybody travel to Miami after they just traveled to Vegas.
True.
That is
Unless
an
if they do it
interesting
October,
point.
November. I mean,
But even if it was like the beginning of November, that is relatively close to wanting to have people come to Art Basel. That's an interesting thought for sure. For sure. I would love a ribbon cutting ceremony. Like even if it was just like on the dirt or whatever the hell it was, like that'd be dope as hell. And like maybe you have some stages set up, some art, whatever. Like that'd be an experience. By the way, Jerry, what's up? You know where it is, Jerry? You know, huh, Jerry?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone going to
100%.
ISTE? What? I don't know what you're trying to say, Jerry. I'm gonna be honest with you. No,
I think
I'm
he's
not.
inviting us on his private jet to Istanbul.
Philly. Am I going to Philly?
Way off. Way off.
No. Listen, if Jerry knows, it's
us,
only a
Jerry.
matter. Yeah, just tell us. Let's break it right here on Board TV.
What?
I think they've mentioned this a few times, so I guess take it for what it's worth. That we would be getting some more information on when and where. So maybe
I'm
in
actually
the next
lying,
couple weeks.
folks. Like Garga talked to me and told me exactly.
It's at A-Fest. We're having.
I guess I can break the NDA. And actually tell you guys the truth. It's going to be in Middle Ohio in December.
Oh,
Yeah, I really
yes,
like to be in
sir.
Kennel Club speculation. What do we think? What do we think we got coming for kennels with this next? Well, I guess technically it'd be with Evo 3, right? Evo 2 is maybe a little too soon. I don't think we're getting any sort of Kennel Club activations for the Forge quite yet. But the storyline's there. They're still keeping the dogs in the story. We got Jerry off, not this Jerry, the dog Jerry.
Isn't it Gary?
It is Gary. I'm looking at Jerry.
So close.
Jerry the Prophet. I know.
Gary the Prophet. So, that dog's clearly up to no good.
Yes.
Right. So, I mean,
I think we'll see something when like the Forge opens. I could see them doing like another one of the little comic things they did on YouTube, because like we're starting the Forge, we're starting to play around with these little machines, and the dogs are like, what the fuck? We don't want to vibe with the machines. I don't know. Like I could see that happening, but a speculation like 4 dogs. Yeah, I would say Evo 3. Side note, something I've always wanted for the dogs. Can we get an official dog collar from the Bored Apes? Can we please? Like a really dope ass one. Like that would be fire.
You just stole my thunder, Phil.
Oh shit.
I was gonna say.
I didn't say it.
So earlier they started adding the royalties back to the dogs, and they said that they were going to start doing things with the dogs, right? So HV Evo 3 is still a ways away, and we don't even know what's going to happen there and how that's all going to work. But you have a few different things that I've kind of been hearing about, right? You've got dog merch, you've got the bandana, you've got the two chains, right? And maybe it's like the Gucci GG necklace, right? Maybe you can get dog tags. Maybe you could get the Bored Ape skull as a medallion. Maybe you can get the bone as a medallion, or like a charm to wear on a bracelet or something, because that would be dope, like jewelry.
I would buy every single one of those things.
Yep.
Absolutely. And then on the other hand, I've also heard things that they could potentially do along the lines of having like a mutant serum, but for the dogs, because then you can have that dog companion, the mutant companion. I don't know. They wouldn't do the same thing, but maybe Gary somehow goes into the laboratory and fucks around, and like the water bowl gets filled up with serum, and next thing you know, there's a bunch of mutant dogs running around. I don't really see that happening with the mutant Hound Club thing that came out, but you never know. But merch definitely is something that would be easy to do, and make little silver charms and make a fortune selling those.
I would love that. I would absolutely.
And the
If you
bandana.
would just make dry fit merch, I would give them $100,000 right now and buy out like everything.
Wow.
Not actually, but
Can I
like,
get that in
I
We're
writing?
clipping this.
I want
We're
dry
clipping this.
fit
and
merch.
sending
So,
it.
like, take my ape and give me dry fit merch, and I will be happy.
I'm glad we brought up Gucci because I have not claimed my pendant yet.
Yeah,
I need
I was
to.
gonna-
The site was bugging for me.
It closed
earlier.
already.
Yeah, you can't get it. Sorry, dude.
I'm flooring my codas. Oh wow. everything.
You
is
don't want to do
glitching
that
out on
either.
me.
They're like 2 ETH right now.
Yeah, we're in the poorhouse. We're gonna be
Dude,
living.
honestly-
We're gonna actually be living at the yacht house. That's the thing. The clubhouse, they can't share it with us yet because that's actually gonna be where we all live together when we're all broke.
Oh, I thought you meant that's where we were all going to end up in one big dump.
Oh no.
No.
Also, for those that haven't yet, as Daniel and Will both alluded to, the physical codependent. For those that don't know, Gucci and Other Side did this collab, and you got the digital version on a Vestal or Coda, and you get the physical codependent, and the claim is live, and it's open until July 6th. I would suggest doing it sooner than later, because I know me, if I don't do it like within the first 2 days or something like this, I'll forget until July 6th, probably. And I don't want to be in that position, so I will probably do it tonight later.
Especially with the 4th of July coming up, like that whole holiday week and weekend and being off of work normally, like that's just going to fly by and you're going to blink. And then like you guys are going to Vegas, right? You're going to come back, you're going to have the holiday. And next thing you know, it's like middle of July.
Dude, I don't know.
August.
I don't know what it is, but Bryce and I have like this affinity for doing extremely short fused trips. So the first one we did, we went to Miami to go to Blau's opening concert after COVID. And so there he was going on and on about his NFTs and stuff. And so we essentially went there for the airdrop that was going to take place at the event. And I don't know. So we were there for literally less than.
We literally like flew in at 8 or 9 p.m., made like 8 wallets on each of our phones, went to the concert, like listened to music, and then he paused it like towards the end and was like, started talking about NFTs and what he was building with Royal, threw up like a QR code, and we're like straight panic
We're
mode.
scanning the
Like,
shit out of these things, man.
Changing wallets. Show ended at 2, and then I think we went to the airport and flew out at like 7 or 8 a.m.
Yeah.
It was
pretty wild.
And that's
was
what you're
worth
doing
it,
for
though.
Azuki too? How long are you going to be in?
No, we're a little bit smarter this time around. We're staying an extra day, so we're not.
We're staying Thursday night. The event is Friday from 10 to 2, and we fly out at 5 a.m. So we are
thought it
going
was a
from the
3-day event.
Azuki event
One-day event?
Dude, what the fuck? That's still wild as hell.
we're going from the Azuki event to the after party.
Okay.
The techno
From
garden.
2:30, like 12. What? From what time? It's like from 2:30 to 3:30, and then we're going. Well, the after party's till like 6 a.m. But we're going from 2:30 to 3:30, and then we're going to the airport.
Okay. Yep. You guys won't be sleeping for the next few weeks. Congratulations. What is Azuki gonna drop to you guys? Merch, coin? What do you think?
Nothing.
So I'm a little bit of a LARPer because I don't actually own an Azuki, but
Dude, okay.
I'm going for the vibes.
Do you even own an ape? Like, fuck, get out of here, bro.
Whoa, now we just like, whoa. Oh, there he goes. Yeah.
Proof of ownership.
He
right
is
there.
an
You see the
ape.
little circle?
He is an ape. What else do we have on the docket, gents? Obviously, markets bad, but coins good. Crypto.
Coin's not good. Apecoin bad. Apecoin very bad.
But I'm gonna be real honest. Like, how do I say this? Talking about it every 10 minutes doesn't do anything. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
I mean,
it
might not do anything.
There's
but
nothing
like,
to do for it right now. Like,
but
what's the expectation?
There's active things happening on the timeline. Like people, like you're watching people get wrecked in 4D. Like it's just like slow, painful. Like stop freaking doing that. And then there's like farmers out there that are literally leveraged up to the gills, getting liquidated on apes left and right. And it's like, can you just stop clicking buy? Can you stop bidding for like 5 minutes? Let the dust settle. Like, because as soon as farmers get hit with supply, they turn around and they dump it.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
Jerry, yes, I saw your massive rug. My God,
totally not compensating. Totally not.
Yeah, totally not. It looks dope, dude.
I'd say,
Shout out, by the way, to our boy Sobi is his name. Rich Class Decor. you got to check it out. Get yourself a ape rug. It costs the same. So I think it's priced in USD. I was gonna say it costs like $3 now that ape's nothing. Dude, ape is going to rise because, dude, we just walked through heavy metal.
It is no doubt.
much-
Like I'm
how much
100%
of that shit is, like-
still uber bullish on ape, but just not in the short term.
Yeah, I think we have a serious problem on our hands where we have all been patiently staking for quite some time. People have enormous bags now because the returns have just been absolutely juicy. And so essentially, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of people selling into pumps. Like it might go up for a little bit, but it's gonna trend right back down.
But I'm thinking long-term, baby.
Well, I mean, I like to think long-term too, but I'm also not trying to get my ass handed to me every single
Here's
time I
Daniel's
wake up the next day.
So, right when Dookie Dash started, when we got the initial launch of the information, Apecoin spiked up quite a bit, and everyone was like, "Oh, see, we told you, haha, the things, blah blah blah," and then it just kind of trended downwards very slowly after that until all of a sudden this SEC FUD came through and everything kind of plummeted. But I believe that here in the next couple of days, we'll find out what the actual ape sync will be. I think you're going to have your resources, right? And then you're also going to have your ape because you're going to have a timer. So let's say it takes an hour to build something and 30 resources. You're going to have to collect the resources and replenish that. And maybe that costs ape. But you're also going to have that timer. And if you want that timer to be sped up, like every pay to play games that you have on mobile where you're like paying to speed up things and for other assistance item things, it's a huge market and people get addicted to doing that. It's absolutely going to be that, right? So once they've announced like, hey, you're going to have a timer when you build things, and like a rare thing might take 36 hours to build and the entry level things might take 15 minutes to build. It's usually how it works, right? So the farther along you get, the bigger items you're building, the longer it's going to take, and the quicker you're going to want to speed that up because you can't do anything until that's finished. So you're going to see that come, and then all of a sudden ape is going to have a huge spike because people are going to buy into it thinking this is going to be the next glory of God to come through, and ape is going to go on its huge pump and go forever. And then we'll see the same thing, right? About a month into the game, you'll start seeing it kind of trend downwards and until the Legends of the Mara come out with whatever they're going to have the ape sync, and then that will shoot up, and that's probably going to be something similar where you're using it to cool, to speed up your cooldowns and whatnot. But really what's going to happen at the end of it is once other side is opened, once there's a use case, once people are using this on the Agora, and once Agora is taking their cut, let's say 5%, or just to make it easy, 5% of ape of all that gets traded on there will get taken out of commission and put into like a community fund or whatever, right? Because that's paying Yuga. You're going to see a lot get pulled out, and that price, let's say it's $2.10 now or 15 cents now. Maybe next week it will be around $2.60, and then maybe it goes up to $3 or $3.50 throughout the next month or two, and then it will come down a little bit. But we're talking next year this time, if other side is a banger, you could be looking at $60, $70, $80, maybe $100 a token because of how much is going to get swept away through Agora and through people trading it and earning it, and all these huge bags you're talking about right now, Will, they're all gonna be sold or processed or moved, or there's gonna be another staking mechanism for something else that's maybe another in-game currency, like stake your ape for whatever, right? So who knows what the lockup is gonna be, but I'm sure that Yuga's hired economists to figure this out, because that was the one really successful thing that Axie had before it all failed and fell apart. Their AXS token, which is essentially ape token, was 50 cents each, and that went up to $160 each in like 8 months. So the history there proves that it can happen if Yuga delivers it properly.
Yeah, it's one of those, I think, like the stars need to align, right? Like we have to have good economic conditions. Yuga has to be delivering some banger stuff. And then we just have to have a bunch of new participants and entrants into the market that are all of a sudden, can see that they can make money on other side. And they're like, I need Apecoin because I'm going to, utilize this.
Yeah, and I'm going to say the unpopular opinion here, but I came to NFTs. I didn't even know what an NFT was until I heard about Axie and started reading about them and seeing all that YouTube stuff. Axie Infinity and that whole moving to Ronin chain and that huge pump from May of 2021 to about October of 2021, that really started and ignited the bull run that everybody went crazy for. Because when I came into Axie, apes were 6 ETH, and I looked at it and I said, "What the hell is this? Why would I pay? I think it was close to $2,000 each at that time. So why would I pay $10,000 for a picture of a monkey that I didn't even like?" Right now, I'm like obsessed with it and I want it, and it's too bad, so long, so late. But the point is that that game had millions of active daily users that were from the Philippines and Venezuela and Colombia and everywhere else that had like good internet but poor wages in the country. And because of that, the investors in the United States were saying, "Hey, I could buy all these teams, right? And I could set this all up." And it was literally the top of all the searches on YouTube. And Ronin beat out Polygon for like since Ronin came out. Like, it was that much better. You had Ethereum and all the transactions, and then you had Ronin as the number 2, and it still is the number 2, actually, even considering that it's not that used anymore.
I was LPing on Ronin when it first came out.
Mm-hmm. But I just mean Ronin chain, like all of that stuff that was happening with their marketplace and the ETH that was being collected because they were supposed to use AXS and they never did. So you could just buy and sell Axies for ETH way before Ronin came out. This is like, 6 months before, a year before. And all of that ETH, it became the second most popular chain with Ethereum. Ethereum being first, Ronin chain being second, Polygon Matic being third. And so that I attribute to everything that was the bull run. And when other side opens and becomes playable with their own L2 chain, or at least, a game within the game where the Agora and stuff is off chain, whenever that happens and all of that churning starts, that's when we're going to see the major massive bull cycle that's going to be of 2024. And that's going to take us into 2025. And Yuga assets are just going to be absolutely astronomically priced because everybody in the world is going to want to be part of this game, even though it's going to be free to play, which is what Axie didn't have. The free-to-play aspect is going to bring people in, and those people are going to come in and they're going to want to collect the little things. Like the people that don't have money are going to want to trade here, do this there. They're going to want to borrow your things. I believe, truly and honestly, that Agora is going to have the ability to rent or loan out your assets for a fixed fee plus a percentage of whatever that they make and earn. So that solves the scholarship issue with people being unethical and all of that. Like, the future is looking so fucking amazing. And people are just here saying that Yuga is dead and failed, and it's just so idiotic and stupid, and that Apecoin is going to zero. Okay, whatever, fine, let it go to zero, because I will actually buy it all for free since I'm limited on my funds. I will take as much as you want to give me, because a year from now, you're going to see millionaires made overnight, and it's going to be insane. And you guys are all going to be part of that because you're smart enough to start adding it all up now. While you can.
100%, right. Everybody's panicking. You get the panic sellers, and
well, I think it's more the thing that drives me crazy. It's the most the people don't even fucking have Yuga. Those are the fucking idiots that are talking. Like, shut your whorish's mouth, please. That's what drives me crazy. Like, okay, it's different if it was all these OGs that I saw that are like, "Oh shit, Yuga's slipping, I'm fucking out of here." It's motherfuckers I don't even know.
Yeah,
like,
it's not
literally
like the
motherfuckers I don't even
people.
know.
It's not like the people that were in Clone X and then they like totally were calling out Artifact for the coupon bullshit that happened, right? Like,
but that was one bad thing after the next, after the next, and everybody was there. Like, OGs were there, still sticking up. Like, okay, accidents happen. Like, this is the 5th time now in a row. Like, every single launch that they had, something went wrong, and it's like, I hate to say it, but I don't want to buy something when I could just wait 2 months and get it for half the price that it's being minted at. And everything that came out from Artifact came out that way. So I sold off my clones as soon as I could, got whatever money I got for them. And then, I'm just buying in things as I can, like the luggage and other stuff. And it's an amazing product with an amazing vision. And they just don't have the right team to put that out there communication wise, right? Everything that's gone wrong is because most Web3 devs lack communication skills, especially with Artifact. If they would have just talked through everything and specifically said, this is what's going to happen, and this is going to be this, and this is going to be that. I know that it's hard to do in some cases, so it's easier for me to say this, looking back. But just even a little bit of communication, like there's still 3 projects that Artifact had for almost a year and a half, 2 years now. And then you have the eggs on top of that nobody even knows what the hell they're for. And the price goes from like 10 ETH to 0.1 ETH. And it's like people are pissed. And the OGs left for right reasons because they've been burned too many times. And the same thing happened with Axie, right? They failed miserably and all the OGs left. Once the OGs leave, it's near
done.
impossible to pick back up. And so Azuki, right? They had all that shit that went down. The OGs didn't leave. And that was what really saved it, because the price went down to what I think it was 3.5, 4 ETH for an Azuki when all of that FUD was going. And I looked at it and I said, I've always wanted one. I'm not even going to touch it because it's just going to probably die like everything else did. But the OGs stayed. And the same thing with Moonbirds. Like Moonbirds is kind of at a different weird level now because a lot of the OGs are starting to leave. And you burn those bridges, it's over. Like there's no more trust in the development team, and then you have to kind of pull back out. Mechaverse, for example, right? They've done a lot of great things after all of that shit that went down, and people left, and they're basically worthless now.
It's just ironic to me because like Yuga is saying shit like every week, every other week at bare minimum, and people are like, they're doing nothing. And I'm like, what? Like, what is your project doing, motherfuckers?
I think it's more of a designed campaign. So before NFTs existed, well, at least mainstream NFTs existed, right? I was buying options in Wall Street and puts and calls, like basically fun gambling. And I would notice the trends that right when things were expected to happen, everything failed, right? And something bad happened, or some piece of news came out and it trended everywhere and the price dropped. But then as soon as they had their earnings report, everything went through the roof. Like the FUD about Tesla right before Tesla knocked the pants off of the thing and went up to thousands of dollars. Like right before that happened, they were at an all-time high FUD level. Even though they came out and said all of these things, people didn't care, right? So you have these whales that have so much money and they just want more assets, and all that greed takes over. And this is just me speaking and means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of it. But you could easily hire writers to create FUD pieces that drive fear throughout the community. And then you have all these echo chambers of all these people that don't own the things that just want to get in and cause mischief because God knows people want to do that. And it really
engagement
well, right, they're
farming.
salty they missed it too.
and
What's
that,
that?
yeah. And there's a whole lot of other
engagement
things of why people do the things that they do. But you basically have this, like in government, and when like Russia has stuff and China has stuff and the US has stuff, they come out with a story and then everybody pushes and the bots push and everything pushes, and then whatever your outcome that was desired happens, right? So if you had a ton of money and you're like, fuck, Ape is going to be at $160 next year. It's at $3 now. I want to buy it for $1. What do I need to do? Okay, let's put out an article. Let everybody trend on the article. Let the SEC FUD happen. Let all this stuff happen. Like time it perfectly, and then bring the whole thing down. Bang. BlackRock just did this with their ETF. Exactly that. They're the masters of doing this, where they'll take something down to bare bones ground, and then they'll throw all their weight behind it and shoot it up through the roof. And it's sad that things can be easily manipulated like that. And I'll give you one story just because I want to show that I'm speaking of some knowledge here. Remember when Vitalik had the NFT that came out and everybody started buying this because it was Vitalik's first NFT? And then it turned out he didn't have anything to do with it. And all of a sudden it dropped, right? Machi had bought hundreds of them. I think he had 750 when I looked. And then there was another account that had another 500 that wasn't linked to him. And the price had gone from 0.5 or 0.6 down to like 0.1. And everyone was like, oh, fuck, he just lost a fuck ton of money. Like, what is he going to do? So I watched. and he would suddenly start buying again, like buying 50 of them off the floor to create this like trend where it shoots up on Blur. And then other people started buying, and he would go up like 0.2, 0.3 ETH on the level, and then start slowly selling some of his off. And then it would, drop down again. Like he would do a quick dump to let everybody stop buying. And then he would, buy a bunch again and then do that. And he just kept walking it up and up and up. And that, I was talking to Thread Guy because they were doing their show while all this was happening, and I was basically calling out what the next moves were going to be, and I was pinpoint accurate because it went from that evening from like 0.1 back up to 0.6, and I sold all of mine that I had and hold on to at 0.6 because I knew that it wasn't going to last. Thank God. And then it all crashed and burned, and Machi got burned on it afterwards anyway. But the point is that he had enough assets and enough money that he could manipulate the whole thing with people blur farming and other stuff along with it, and it happens. So all you have to do then is, and even then, right, there was all these articles coming out that Vitalik's NFT, blah 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 blah, and it's like you couldn't make this stuff up. Somebody was paying big dollars. I'm not going to name names because I have no idea who, but somebody was paying big dollars to get all of this in the news, and then buying all these assets and selling all these assets and manipulating that whole market. And that particular instance, they got caught and the thing burned them bad. But I know for a fact Machi was buying. I don't know who was putting out all those articles. That being said, right back to the original point, the markets can be easily manipulated by doing things like that. If you have enough money, you can create this huge panic in the market, buy it all up, and then make all your money back that you spent and then some as it goes up. And it's a shitty situation. And I have a feeling that's kind of where we're at, because you'll have everybody that just wants to get in on it and engagement farm. And then you'll have all this other stuff kind of coming in, and it creates a perfect storm. And next thing you know, Yuga is the devil and they're going bankrupt tomorrow, and sell everything now before you lose it all. And that's the shit that happens. And then all of a sudden, what, a month from now, everything's going to double in price. And everybody's going to be there like, haha, I told you, like you should have sold.
It's one of those, if you just touch grass for a week or two, you'll come back and be like, oh.
That's actually the key. That is actually 100% the key, is just get off of Twitter, block people that aren't speaking joy in your life. Just or mute them. Don't even have to block them. Just mute them so you don't see them anymore. Those are things that I've done to keep my mind semi at ease. But gentlemen, this has been a freaking awesome conversation. And Daniel, we've got to have you on more. You bring
Father
so much
Phil
knowledge.
always ruining the fun and setting us down.
Oh, I know. Father Phil, Grandpa Phil over here is, man, my big toe is throbbing. I'm feeling like I'm ancient today. And 100%, I'm taking receipts, though. I picked that for a reason, because I see y'all on the timeline. I see you. I just keep taking receipts. I've got a lot of them. I got so many. I got them from big players, too. I remember when some very prominent crypto people were telling us that apes were going to go to zero and Meebits would just crush them instantly. Yeah, it's interesting. It's real interesting. So just keep doing your thing. If you like a project, if you like an artist, if you like whatever, if you're enjoying it, just enjoy it. Mute the things that cause you pain, because if I don't, just keep creating. That's right.
Ziggy nailed it on the head.
Dude, just keep creating. If you like it, man, give your energy to that project. That's what we do with Yuga, the four of us, and we've got more people that are going to, hopefully join us in this endeavor, because we do want to continue to push good content. Because to be honest, when you focus on the content, you focus on the information, all the other shit doesn't matter, because you don't have time for it. So, man, any last remarks before you wrap for this fine episode of Board TV? I'm going to go to Bryce, then Will, then Daniel.
Yeah, just want to say a big thanks to Daniel for joining this episode. It was super fun to dox yourself, and then shoot the shit and speculate for an hour. I feel like we had a good conversation over Forge and Legends of the Mora. So thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we had a good conversation today. A lot of good speculation and all that. I need anybody who sees this to please vote for me in Heavy Metal Forge, because I'm going to need all the votes I can get. So shameless plug there.
Actually,
I think he just lost connection. Vote for me.
Oh no!
I also, if you could follow my Twitter, I'm at 4,998 followers. So two
There you
people
go.
would be
All right, gotta go unfollow.
So
Unfollowing
you
that.
actually segued perfectly to what I was going to say, Will, which was going to be funny, I think, in my own mind at least. But what you need to do in Vegas is start filming the after party and then hold ransoms and be like, yo, you need to vote for me or I'm launching this on Twitter. Because you know that after party at 3 to 6 a.m. is fun.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
that's gonna be it. That's it, actually.
You can bribe your own brother.
That's exactly
For real.
right. Well, again, Daniel,
The other half
I
of
mean,
it.
we just want to say thanks, man. You'll be on many, many, many more times. Obviously, we're all excited about heavy metal here on the 29th and Legend of the Mara here in a couple weeks. I mean, we're here and we're ready to rock. So, man, with that, it's been an awesome episode of Board TV. Hit us up in the DMs, hit us on Twitter, check us out everywhere. Subscribe, like, follow Daniel, follow Will, follow Bryce to get him to 5,000. Until next time, this is Board TV. We are out.
Peace.
That money clip us now, the new now looks like. Whoa, upgrade her diamonds, now her girlfriends are like. Whoa, I hit record a drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, Finnish friends on my face.